Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Animation Appreciation Podcast. I'm your host, Liliana Stargazer, and today we'll be covering Disney's Tangled. As I mentioned previously, hair is actually very complicated when it comes to 3D models and animating them. To have good hair physics, it has to be reactant to everything that it touches, and that includes its 100,000 brothers and sisters. Previously, hair was kept simple and semi-short. It was animated in chunks instead of strands. This movie is the one that changed that. The team actually had to program an entirely new software just to deal with Rapunzel's hair. They consulted hair experts on how it reacts and the way the materials for it should be, how it takes in light, how it moves, how it should look when it's wet, dry, frizzy, everything. And it took them years to get that right. Bloopers, actually, if you look them up on YouTube, will show you exactly how hard it can be. And just so you are aware, the issue we have with clipping, or the idea of one model cutting into another one before collision physics activate, is a very real problem. When you have 100,000 strands that are all reacting to each other, that is absolutely insane, and it causes chaos when the program malfunctions. But it's also kind of hilarious. Like I said, go onto YouTube, Google it. It's hilarious. The way it moves, the way it interacts, the way it flows, wraps around things, everything all had to be hand programmed into this brand new piece of software just so that they could work this hair model at all. The hair alone is actually why I decided to cover this movie. To be honest, I bet you if you take someone with long hair near the animators for this movie, you'll give them PTSD flashbacks. Now, for the rest of the details. The motif of swirls and yellow flowers are repeated throughout this whenever it comes to Rapunzel. Rapunzel's baby thing has a little chameleon on it. That little hangy thing, I forgot the word for it. Just like her little bestie, Pascal. The second reason I actually chose to cover it is Mother Gothel herself. She never shows affection to Rapunzel, only Rapunzel's hair. She strokes it during her song, kisses her head, and calls her my flower. She actually only speaks directly to Rapunzel with criticisms or other ways to tear her down. Also, some of the way that some of the strands glow first, while others glow second. Some are brighter, some are duller, some fade first, some fade last. And that's just a nice little detail. And something hair does, you can even see it if you hang out in the sun too much. You'll get sun streaks in certain spots while the rest will remain dark. Also, can we all just really quickly agree that not only is she using Rapunzel's hair to stay young, but she also makes Rapunzel sing the song herself? Just for the record, somebody did the math, or actually, to be honest, they just released it in the documentary on this movie, and it was later confirmed with math. Rapunzel's hair is actually 70 foot long. Small detail, when she's mopping, she puts her hair up on a table so it won't get wet. Also, we see a painting of her by the stairs in an orange dress lounging. Another in red, we see her painting during the song. It is equally messed up, by the way, that she makes Rapunzel pull her up and then criticizes her for how long it takes. If you can't tell, I am not a fan of Mother Gothel, nor am I a fan of any of this abuse. Still on Mother Gothel, as she is riding up, she glances back with a glare, looking for any threats to her little flower. Just kidding is not an excuse for being a jerk. Just saying. As she sings and breaks down Rapunzel's argument, she closes the windows and literally puts her in the dark, showing her only what she wants to see. She legitimately says, I love you most, as she pulls Rapunzel's chin down, talking to the hair and gives it a little kiss. There is a painting of Rapunzel in her boots on her closet and a green dress as well. Not that we ever see her wearing boots. When Mother Gothel yells that she isn't allowed to leave, that's when Rapunzel's belief in her is actually shattered. When she's on the windowsill and we see her crossing between the inside, the dark, and the outside, the bright light of the outside world, right before she leaves. This is just to show us her state of mind, how she can either stay here and live in the darkness that Mother Gothel has cultivated for her, or she can step out and into the light and see the whole world. And for any of you who are very irritated with her little fluctuations, I actually have a comment on that. It is actually very well done where she fluctuates between freedom, free, and oh God, I'm a horrible person. That's because she's leaving a toxic environment with narcissistic abuse, and that causes you to doubt yourself. So when you decide to take a big step and step away from them for even a minute, it's when it hits you and you feel like, oh no, I'm a horrible person for obeying this person who loves me. No, that's just what happens when you're in a toxic environment. You leave it and disobey an abuser for even a second. I just want to take a quick second and point out the studs on Flynn Rider's vest as well as everyone else's stitching. Somebody sat there and modeled all of this. The flowers growing at the base of the tower are actually called Rapunzel flowers or bluebell flowers. As soon as I saw them, I was like, I'm pretty sure Rapunzel is blue. So I checked, and it is. The way the crown reflects light as Mother Gothel drops it. Rapunzel's strike to the guy's head sends a ripple through him. The reflection on the sword when Maximus is using it. Mother Gothel tries repeatedly to gaslight her and insult her when she finds Rapunzel in the woods. This is a common abuse tactic. The fog that rolls in and out with Mother Gothel. Maximus is looking at Pascal the whole time when he first met Rapunzel. Yes, because he's afraid of Pascal. When Flynn finally shows affection, he actually moves Rapunzel's hair out of the way to look at her as a person and not just her hair, unlike Mother Gothel. And yes, they absolutely had the hair braided so they wouldn't have to animate 70 foot of hair. The simple yet subtle animation of her parents' grief before they have to step out and show strength for their people. The lantern that was about to fall in the water and she gave a boost was actually her parents' lantern. You can see her family sigil of the sun right there. And it went right, their lost daughter. Once again, when we see the twins again, take a good look at their clothes. They have beautiful stitching. When Mother Gothel said, "Are you all right?" she actually checked the hair first. The subtle tears in her eyes as she watches Flynn Rider drift away. The Baker Ruffian has a cupcake tattoo. Rapunzel's eyes turn red at the edges before she cries for Eugene. Just so you know, Mother Gothel actually uses all 11 signs of gaslighting. She blatantly lies and insists that it is the truth. She says soon, but not yet. And then she turns around and says, never. That's an example. And Mother Knows Best, she says she can't leave because, and lists off her flaws. Tears them down. She also projects her own insecurities onto her when she says, getting kind of chubby. She spent years wearing Rapunzel down so that when she left, she has that mental breakdown we see that I mentioned earlier. Her actions do not match her words. She says, I love you, but means I love controlling you and I love having your hair around to use. Abusers also use positive reinforcement to cause confusion and keep you from leaving, like complimenting her hair, making her favorite soup, all that. They use that confusion of you just tore me down, but also you gave me something positive. You're abusive and mean, but you're also so nice. They keep that person confused so that they can weaken them and weaken their will. Mother Gothel herself tries to insist that these lanterns are just stars to weaken her will by making her think she's wrong and causing some confusion. They also turn people against you. Since that's not going to be Flynn, she uses the two cohorts of Flynn to turn on him and her, and the illusion that Flynn left when he was tied to the boat. In Rapunzel's eyes, she has seen Flynn as turn his back on her and leave. They will also call you crazy, like when Rapunzel tried to insist that Flynn likes her, and Mother Gothel calls her demented. She tries to convince her that all the joy she feels outside of the tower is in her head, and proof that she should go home. Abusers will also tell you that everyone else is a liar, which is exactly what Mother Gothel does when she comes home with her. By the way, the lighting is also very important. Whenever Mother Gothel is around, the lighting is lit by green lanterns and gold for all the friends that she makes. Thank you again for our internet dads at Cinema Therapy for helping me with this video, as I reference many of their videos whenever I do these. Anything that has to do with psychology, I generally got from them, unless it's my own experience. Anyway, that's all I have for today, so thank you for listening. And once again, if it's animated, someone did it on purpose. Have a great night.